This is the 2024 Hyundai Sonata SEL. Is it worth every penny? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I stopped by Mike Morgan Hyundai here in Shreveport, Louisiana, so that we could take a good in-depth look at this very well refreshed 24 Sonata. This actually was a requested video, by the way, the SEL trim level, and as you can see, it really has a nice, low-slung, sporty look to it. That's really what Hyundai was going for. No matter where you look, it seems to say, yeah, this is a sporty vehicle. In fact, it has somewhat of a coupe look to it. And when I say that, what I mean is the angle of the rear of the vehicle. At least that's what Hyundai says, and I seem to see that as well. So let's dig in and find out what all we have here. As far as the new design goes, well, I probably don't have to tell you too much about it. You've got the seamless horizon lamp or horizon light here, which is what this is right here. And I don't know how well you can see. We're going to try and get inside later on if we can, but this is seamless as the lighting goes all the way across. There's no break in the middle, anything like that. That is a good thing. Also, the LED headlights that are going to be down here in this area, really kind of a nice thing. Now, you don't have fog lights here, but I don't think that's necessary. Why is that? Just because of the location of the headlights. And a nice look with the front end overall. We'll find some gloss black here, but I like the fact that it's not in this area or even right here. Those areas are more likely to pick up dirt and debris, rocks and things like that. You won't see the damage that that could potentially cause the same way that you might with some of the gloss black that is found down here on this area and in other portions of the front end. But overall, a nice sporty look. And how about our tire and wheel size? This is a front wheel drive model, by the way. So we're looking at 235 on the width. No, that is not a nail right there. It's just a little pebble, just so you can see. Somebody might say something if I don't say something. 235 on the width, a 45 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. What do you think about that? Do you like that look? Seems to fit. It looks Hyundai. That's at least the way I see it. And we'll have more of that nice gloss black look down here on the lower portion of the body. It really gives it that more of that low slung sporty look. And as we move up to the power adjustable manually folding side view mirrors, they do fold in two different directions. Body color on the mirror caps, you will find some gloss black on the lower portion. You'll have your blind spot monitoring built in. And what about the remote? Here is what that is going to look like. Pretty easy to deal with because there's not a lot there, but it has great functionality. You will find the remote start feature. And up here, something that I know a lot of you are going to like, depending on what you're thinking about buying. If you're maybe considering the Sonata over the Honda Accord, and you're saying to yourself, I really want a panoramic sunroof. That is definitely going to be something that will be a selling point where this is concerned. And the gloss black here to finish things off with the rear spoiler area back here with the trunk. It looks right. I like what Hyundai has done here. A very nice and somewhat unique look. LED tail lights back here. And again, just like we saw on the front end, you're going to have the light that goes all the way across right here. Now you will have a clean look back here. No exposed exhaust. What do you think about that? Do you like that? Does it matter? For some people, that may not even factor in to their decision making on what vehicle they're going to buy. And because I know there are some people out there that don't realize you can upgrade. On the sticker, you might see 17-inch wheels and not realize that there are optional 18-inch wheels. See the R18 right there? That's the rim size. Thought I would cover that before anybody issued a correction that wasn't necessary in the comments section. Under the hood is the 2.5-liter four-cylinder. It makes 191 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 181 pounds-feet, and it's not mated to a CVT. So for those of you who don't like CVTs, you can breathe a sigh of relief. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And how about MPGs? We're looking at 25 city, 36 highway, 29 combined, and 3.4 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you're not a fan of capless fuel fill, here's another benefit for you. You have an old school gas cap. I guess it's okay to call that old school now. I don't know. But it is nice to see. I would rather have that personally than capless fuel fill. Just one of those things that I think brings a little more peace of mind. Even though it's not as easy to gain access with capless fuel fill as some people think it is to put something foreign in your gas tank. But speaking of the gas tank, the size on this particular model is 15.9 gallons. And let's talk about cargo capacity. First thing before we talk about that is how do you open the trunk? Well, there's a couple of different ways to do that, but one of which is that button right there. A lot of the time, I know we tend to look down in this area looking for something to push, and you might not notice that, so now you know where that is. So we're looking at 16 cubic feet of cargo capacity. To maximize your cargo capacity, we're going to pull on those releases right there, and then come here into the interior and lower the seats. So there you go. That's how you do that. And another big benefit here is the fact that underneath the floor back here is a spare tire. Let's talk about what your rear seat passengers will find. I'm going to put my arm up here and see if the armrest is comfortable. It does seem that way, even though I don't have my arm up there for long, but it does have some decent padding. We'll find the door bin right here. It'll hold a decent sized bottle, probably more of a bottle holder than a door bin. One thing you won't find here that I know isn't the most popular thing, especially when you have areas like this where there's going to be a lot of contact, especially on the door handle right there, we have the silver as opposed to gloss black. That's a good thing. And there's a look for you at the panoramic sunroof. That front portion does tilt and slide open, and there is a shade that can be drawn forward when so desired to keep too much sun out of the interior on warm days. And while we have cloth interior, some people say that's antiquated. What do you say? It does have a nice sporty look to it, and obviously you don't get this plastic right here. Whoever ran the car through when it first came in didn't get that. But there is one thing that you parents with car seats back here I think will like, is gaining access to the latch system is very easy because you don't have to remove anything. You don't have to keep up with anything. That's always a benefit, just that much less to deal with, so you can't go wrong there. Fold down armrest with the cup holders built in, and in an interior of this size, I don't think it's a big deal not to have rear air conditioning vents. Tell me what your thoughts are. But one thing that is back here that I think a lot of people will find important for their rear seat passengers will be the USB ports. And you'll only find one seat pocket back here, but that does add a little bit more in the way of storage options. And a very important question to answer when it comes to determining whether or not this 24 Hyundai Sonata is worth every penny is how many pennies will it cost to buy it? When you add them all together, you're looking at $32,185. Let's see what else you get beyond what I've already shown you. Now, if you want more space, here's the larger armrest, and most certainly a larger door bin. Quite a bit more space there. Nothing unusual. A lot of vehicles are like that. And then we'll have more of that silver finish here as far as the trim work goes and the door handle. And here is the grab handle to close the door. Now here on the SEL trim level, you're going to have a power driver's seat, but a manually adjustable passenger seat. So, see what else we're going to find here. A nice clean look across the dash. Everything really what I would call seamless. And then when we open the glove box, plenty of space in there. So much space that the front license plate bracket will be found within there, or holder. And then we're going to have a little bit of space right here. Not really sure what you could put right there, but something would fit. And some more USB options here as well. Connectivity and a wireless charging pad. Not too bad for the price, that's for sure. And you'll find your drive mode selector here, auto hold, and obviously cup holders here. All of that pretty easy to figure out what's here. Now, we will find some space within the center console. It seems to be a little far back, but I guess that just depends on where the front seats are located. Still can be used as an armrest. That's a good thing. And And then as we take a look up here onto the upper console, for those of you who are wondering, obviously this is your control for handling whether or not the power shade is in place or if you open or close the sunroof. And I'm sure there are no surprises here as far as the controls and switches that are added compared to what we saw on the passenger side over here on the driver's side. You'll also find a few others here on the dashboard area. The control right here, or I should say the release, allows you to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel, and we'll bring to life the 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster for the driver, or the driver's display. Very well laid out. It has a very nice look to it, that's for sure. And then there are our driving modes. You can see Sport right there. There's My Drive. You can go in and customize some things. You can also stay in normal mode if so desired. And that's not the only 12.3-inch screen. We also have the center screen right here that is a touch screen, so quite a bit going on there. Very easy to deal with, very easy to use, very easy to learn. And I like the fact that you have that curvature to it, where it's really driver focused, pointed at the driver. That's the way it should be. That makes things a lot easier to deal with. Obviously, when you go into reverse, you're going to get your rear view camera, nice bright trajectory lines. Of course, that's very easy to deal with today because it's overcast, but you do have a few options here as far as different views that you can see depending on what you need to see. You can widen that up if you want to. So a very nice look. And let's do this. We'll go right here to the shifter. Nothing unusual with Hyundai, but in case you haven't seen it before, this is your shifter. Pretty easy to deal with, self-explanatory. Put your foot on the brake. You're going to twist that area backwards to go into reverse, forward to go into drive, and then to go into park, just push the button right there. And here is the steering wheel. Your steering wheel mounted controls. You can use your paddle shifters here to work your way back and forth through the 8-speed automatic transmission, and the control that not only controls the headlights and taillights, but also the turn signals. Some of you might know how to use those, and some of you might not. Just depends, I guess. But a lot going on here. Super easy to deal with. You do have some one-touch options right here, as you can see. I don't have to tell you too much about what is there. And the control for turning the radio on and off, and also adjusting the volume. Dual zone climate control is also going to be here, and we'll find that we have heated seats, not something that I think I need today. So I could use a couple of different settings there depending on what I want and how cool it is, but like I said, today it's just not necessary. Now you'll notice that we have two different temperatures here. If you want to sync those together, notice it says sync right here. We're just going to push that. Now both sides are the same. Pretty easy to deal with. Now my seat is a little further back here, so I'm able to take more advantage of the armrest that doubles as the lid for the console. That's always a good thing. A pretty simple interior to deal with, but yet at the same time a nice sporty look to it, and it does have that touch of a high-tech look at the same time. And as promised earlier in the video, a look at the lighting, not only the exterior, but the interior lighting as well in the dark, or at least as dark of an environment as we can get. So this is what we have, just to show you around with all the lights on. And then we're going to step outside here and take a look at how the front end looks. Now hopefully this won't be too bright, but from this angle I think it's going to work pretty well. I'm not going to change the angle too much because I don't want to blind anybody. But as I told you earlier, we have this continuous light on the front end. We'll also have that on the rear. So take a look at that. There you go. A very nice clean look. Tell me what your thoughts are. All right, here we go for our test drive. And even with front wheel drive, you still have a vehicle that handles very, very well. Now here on the SEL trim level, you can opt for all-wheel drive if you so desire. So that's good to know for those who may be seeking all-wheel drive. And you'll also find a comfortable ride quality. When I say the ride quality is comfortable, it may not be Cadillac butter smooth, but at the same time, it's still extremely comfortable. And when you need to get around a slower moving vehicle, as I just did right there, not a big deal. I didn't really get on the pedal all that hard to do that. Wasn't a big deal at all. Now, you may pick up a little bit of wind noise and wonder, is it really that bad? Well, today we do have winds gusting to about 15 to 20 miles per hour, so there's a little bit of increase. I don't know how much I would say, but you're definitely going to have some wind noise beyond what you might have otherwise, just in case. I don't know what my lapel mic is picking up, but in case you happen to hear that, no big deal. And one thing I did want to say, you'll probably notice on the screen that I paired my smartphone, my iPhone. So I'm using Apple CarPlay here. And this is probably one of the easiest systems to pair because you have verbal instructions that are given to you on the screen that just basically walks you through the process. It's very easy to deal with, probably the easiest wireless pairing of my smartphone to any vehicle I've ever done. So that's nice to know that it's there. The technology here is easy to deal with. It looks nice, it looks modern, but that doesn't mean it's complicated, at least not in my opinion. Other people might say differently. I don't know, it just depends on what you're used to. But one way or another, I think it's easy to deal with. A very nice interior. Seems comfortable. It would be nice to be able to get out on the road a little longer than just a couple of minutes worth of a test drive. But I think that you could do just fine on a long road trip. Most people are stopping every 3 or 4 hours, something like that, most likely. So that's going to help as well. But a very enjoyable driving experience, that's for sure, no matter the situation. So depending on what you're looking for and what your needs are, well, you don't have to go with the SEL trim level. We did recently show the inline, although I didn't get to drive it, which was a little bit of a disappointment because obviously that was at the Chicago Auto Show, so I didn't have the opportunity for a test drive the way I do today. But hopefully we'll get that in the future because you do have quite a bit more horsepower at your disposal in that case. But overall, I think a very well-rounded vehicle, especially for the price point of the vehicle. It seems to do really well. Tell me what you think down in the comments section. Is the 2024 Hyundai Sonata SEL worth every penny? Curious to see what your thoughts are. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Mike Morgan Hyundai for loaning me this Sonata for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. If you haven't subscribed to the Vehicle Visionary YouTube channel just yet, please consider doing so. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.